So welcome back to the Impact Arena. How lucky we are to be based here for 3 consecutive weeks, 3 weeks of world-class badminton. And our thanks and admiration go out to the Badminton Association of Thailand and the Thai government who have made this all possible for us. I have to say the organisation has been absolutely superb. So to our next final of the day here at the YONEX Thailand Open, and it's women's singles, and it's the world #1, Tai Tzu Ying, in her 4th final in 4 tournaments played, up against Carolina Marin, who's the reigning Olympic champion and 3-time former world champion. This really should be a terrific match. Now, when we look at the race to the World Tour finals, we can see that Carolina Marin is already at #1. So whether she wins or loses today's final, she consolidates her place there. Tai Tzu Ying, as you can see, is currently at #8, but after this week in Bangkok will go up to #2. Ratchanok will stay at #3, but you can see there's 2 Chinese players in there and Akane Yamaguchi. Now, none of those 3 players can actually compete in the World Tour finals, so that gives opportunities to others, like Kosetskaya, currently at 10. She'll go up to #8, and Unsi Young will go up to #4. Well, when we look at the women's singles draw from the quarter-final stage, we can see that there was 3 players from Thailand. 5 seeds, mind you, we only started with 6. The only seed not to make it through to quarter-final was the reigning world champion, Pusala Venkata Sindhu, who was beaten finalist here 3 years ago. So a quarter-final stage, 5 seeds, but all 3 Thailand players lost in the quarter-final stage. So by semi-finals we had 4 players from 4 different nationalities, and that's only happened here at the Thailand Open 4 times since the inception of the Super Series and now World Tour. So that's going back to 2007. Well, Morton, as we wait for the players to come onto court, I'm sure you noticed, as I did when we looked at the lineup for today's finals, that it was possible mathematically for all 5 titles to go to players from 5 different nations.
Yes.
But this is going to hold the key, because Chinese Taipei has already won the men's doubles.
Yes.
And obviously with Tai Tzu Ying, also from Chinese Taipei, if she wins this...
She's ruining it.
Not at all, but just for your information.
Yes.
It's only happened twice at World Tour events, that since we've had the inception of the World Tour, that at a Super 1000 event, the 5 titles have gone to players from 5 different nations. That was the 2018 All England and the 2018 China Open. So it is possible it could happen here again today. And here at the Thailand Open, it's only ever happened once in the history of the whole tournament, going back to 1984, and that was back in 2004. So we could be in a very special day all round. This, as you can see, is a 16th meeting between these 2 players, and Tai Tzu Ying has the advantage, having won 9 of them, and in fact won the last 2 encounters, including the All England last year. Semi-final stage it was, 3 games, and Tai Tzu Ying went on to win her 3rd All England title in her 4th consecutive final. It's really rather special, isn't it, for the world #1. But the Olympic champion, how wonderful to see her back after that career-threatening injury in 2019, ruptured an anterior cruciate ligament, but has come back very strongly indeed. Tai Tzu Ying is 26 years of age, born in Kaohsiung, and after her win at the All England, her 3rd title last March, went back up to world #1, 148 weeks before the rankings were frozen at the top of those ranking lists. Now, looking at her path through to today's final, she, like her opponent, hasn't dropped a game all the way through. A first round against the 18-year-old Tai, then a second round against Kim Ga-eun. Quarterfinal against the number 8 seed, Michelle Lee. That was just 28 minutes. And then the semi-final against Mia Blickfeld had to come from 16-20 down in the second game, saved 5 game point opportunities before closing it out 23-21. So to Carolina Marin, who's 27 years of age, number 6 on the world ranking, but did spend a total of 66 weeks as world number 1, making her second appearance here at the Thailand Open. Her first appearance was 9 years ago when it was a Grand Prix Gold event, and she lost in the very first round to Sun Yu of China. Well, she's been just as impressive in her march through to today's final. Chi Shui Fei of France in the first round, and then Porpa won Cho Chu Wong of Thailand, revenge for the final defeat in the Spain Masters last year. Then a quarter-final against the left-handed Keaton, and then in a semi-final against the number 7 seed Ang Si Young, who had broken home fans' hearts by beating the 2-time former champion Ratchanok Intanon in the quarter-final stage. So our court officials for this one, in the umpire's chair is Roberto Stomi Oscariano. th meeting, I think we can safely say they will know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely. But today is a new day. And I actually think that both players are still working to add on layers to their game.
On my right,
Yeah.
Tai Tzu
Oh, that's
Ying,
for sure.
Chinese Taipei. And on my left, Carolina Marin, Spain. Carolina Marin to serve. Love all. Play.
Yes, landed well in. Morton, I was beginning to tell everybody about Carolina Marin after her anterior cruciate ligament surgery.
Yes.
This is her 17th tournament since she made her comeback, which was actually at the Vietnam Open, but the following week she won the China Super 1000 for a second consecutive time, and this is her 10th final since her surgery and her comeback in her 17th tournament. Who would have thought that was possible?
I like the word possible, because honestly I did not think that was possible.
No.
That kind of injury that she did sustain at the time is one of those where, you know, you have to start from the very, very bottom again and build up, and so many honestly are not making it.
Yeah.
Look at Lee Shuray.
Yeah.
Just to give you one example.
Yeah. Oh, that's good judgment.
Service over. 1, 2.
Good flip serve.
That's long.
Oh, it's called good.
It's called in.
Yeah.
Another challenge.
Oh.
So let's see. Let's have a look.
Oh yes, that was perfect.
Perfect. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Clear from Tai Tzu Ying, simply too flat.
Service over.
Yeah, she was mistiming it,
2.
which is quite unusual for her. Straight away looking at the rackets, saying, How can that happen? But when we did that interview for Facebook earlier today, I spoke about I felt that Marin is really trying to play at a lot higher pace than what we've seen her do before. However, I also feel that she's making more mistakes. So it's a very fine balance for her. And it's a fine start here in the opening of the first game. Good pace and no mistakes at all.
Five, 2.
Look at that pace. Even Tai Tzu Ying finds it hard to follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
6.
Okay, well here's some fun stats for you, Morten.
Okay.
Carolina Marin is playing in her third Super 1000 tournament final. She's never lost a final at this level so far, won her previous 2.
Yes.
For Tai Tzu Ying, this is her 6th final in only the 8th Super 1000 event.
Yeah. That's pretty good, isn't it?
That's staggering, isn't
That's
it?
pretty good. You know, it took a little while to sink that in. 6 out of 8. That's not bad.
Yeah. And of course the 9th for the 3 years of the HSBC BWF World Tour is next week.
7,
Yeah.
2.
But I was very impressed with Tai Tzu Ying when she won the All England in 2020.
Yeah, me too.
Against Chen Yufei in the final. I thought that was a very, very good match, and it meant a lot to Tai Tzu Ying. She could prove that she once again could get back on top and win those kind of tournaments. And,
Yeah.
and I think that meant a lot to her, also in terms of
Service
confidence.
over.
Yeah, but also in winning the
3,
All England, she became
7.
the most successful women's singles player in the history of Super Series and now World Tour. She overtook Wang Yihan with a number of titles that, if you look at the equivalent of Super Series, is the 500 and above events
Yeah.
that we have now on the HSBC BWF World Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course it meant a lot, that All England.
Yeah.
The All England means a lot to anybody
Agree,
on
agree.
its own, but
Yeah.
7.
even more reason to celebrate and gain confidence. Well judged.
Service over.
Now, when I was
8,
working with Steen yesterday and we were watching the semi-finals, and with the drift coming faster towards us now, looking down on the court, and Steen very much felt it was more difficult for singles players to play from that far side because
Yeah.
you can't control your lifts and push your opponent to the back of the court.
Yeah, you're very much forced to keep it down as much as possible, and that means it becomes a very one-sided strategy to have,
Service over.
and you can't really move your opponent that well on court. But I think this is fascinating from the very
5,
start,
Yes.
because
8.
the thing is that if Tai Tzu Ying is down in a game, is usually due to her own mistakes and her walkabouts and not concentrating and
Yeah.
things like that. But she's actually down because her opponent is playing a lot better, and she's chasing her big time. So it's a complete different
Yeah.
way of looking at it. So she's slowly
6,
crawling back.
8.
And I don't think the drift is nearly as severe as yesterday.
No, yesterday was pretty bad.
Mm. Oh, clever. Good use of the body
Service
smash.
over. 9-6.
Yes, it is incredible pace,
10,
isn't it?
6.
Pace of shot and pace of movement from Carolina Marin.
Tai Tzu Ying really have to consider whether she should not go a little bit more on the attack. At the moment she's just responding to whatever Marin is throwing at her, but she's not really proactive, and I think she should try to start looking to do that.
11-6.
So a 5-point advantage for the number 5 seed, Carolina Marin, here in the opening game. Runners Thompson,
Raqueta
the
arriba.
coach here
Ahí es
in
donde viene
Bangkok.
el tenso fuerte, cruzado y todo. Por si tiene
I've
raqueta
been wondering,
arriba,
do
no
you
hay
know how
problema.
many years he's been in
Vale.
Spain?
Y a su
No, but his
certificado, ella hace
Spanish is
pie
obviously
para
very
el
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Cuando hace remate,
during the week
intenta
here
defender alto.
I've been saying I think
yo
it's
hago remate.
6,
Sí.
7
Vale,
years
si tu
I
remate
think
no
he's
es
been
muy,
there,
muy, muy bueno,
Right.
espera, porque viene alto, ¿vale?
perhaps more. I'm
Pero
not sure.
no pasa nada, porque entonces tú puedes meterle
20
presión en
What's your
una
Spanish
mano,
like?
atacar rápido,
20
en otra
seconds.
mano.
Because
Non-existent.
you know your job is to do the translations.
Yeah, that's my job. It's in my description.
Okay, well, let's see if Tai Tzu Ying's coach, Lai Chien Chen, has advised her to do as Morton was suggesting. Take some
11,
initiative
6.
instead of following,
Yeah.
start dictating some of the pace.
Play. Service over. 7-11.
Word. Well,
Service
considering
over.
she's landing on her
12,
right leg, which is the
7.
one where she had the surgery,
Yeah.
to play that cross court with that sort of speed and that sort of movement around the head position is simply outstanding.
And I think this is one of the things that's changing in Marin's game, because after her injury, when she was in a situation like that, she opted very often to play a cross-court clear, just play a defensive
Service
shot
over.
and not put pressure on that
8.
leg. But here we
12.
saw there was maximum pressure, and
Yeah.
she's growing in confidence in terms of strength on her leg.
No, that's why.
Service over. 13-8.
Oh, that's phenomenal. My goodness me. That found the line, didn't it?
It
Morton?
It did.
8.
It's so unusual to see that Tai Tzu Ying so much under pressure in terms of pace.
Yeah.
$58.
Well,
16.
I don't think there's any doubt who's going to win this opening game.
I'm not saying it is as one-sided as the mixed doubles first game, but it's pretty close.
I don't believe that. Amazing defence from Carolina Marin.
78.
Yeah, she's out to send the strong signal 6 months in advance, isn't she?
Yeah.
Of course, the big dream to defend her title at the Olympics.
Oh, just wide.
18. 8.
This is extraordinary.
19. 8.
And it's thoroughly deserved, this sort of lead. She's been so far she's been a pace above Tai Tzu Ying.
Yes, if not 2 paces. Perhaps it will change when they change ends and Tai Tzu Ying maybe feel more comfortable using the back line, the back court, and start pushing shots to the back on Marin. But she's hitting one win after the next.
Yeah,
8.
on a run of 8 straight points. She now has 12 game point opportunities.
Service over. 9-20.
Oh, that's a nice reverse slice straight drop. Missed it.
That.
So the opening
Game.
game, 21-9 in double quick
First
time.
game won by Carolina
Just
Marin,
about 16 minutes.
21-9.
Wow. The Olympic champion and 3-time former world champion in scintillating form at the moment.
Estás luchando, cuando estás atrás del volante, sigue luchando. Pone un volante más al otro lado, ¿vale? Para que le tienes que seguir buscando soluciones. Muy bien tu actitud, muy bien la intensidad, meter presión. No creo que el volante va fuera ahora del fondo, ¿verdad? No creo. Vale, entonces seguimos con lo mismo, ¿vale? Mete presión al fondo, a su derecha, raqueta arriba, a su rectificado, atenta, por si él hace el pie paralelo para que tú puedas hacer el ataque cruzado, variado con el ataque paralelo, cortado paralelo, ¿vale? Y desde ahora tenemos que estar adelante. Ahora al final, por ejemplo, cuando tú juegas red,
Sí.
cuando ella juega red, ella va adelante, está atenta para que
Vale.
no repite y no se sube. A ver, Vamos y luchamos todo lo que
Sí,
estuvo
sí, sí,
antes,
sí.
¿vale?
Vale.
Vamos, Carlos.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Well, as the players return to court for the start of this second game, I have to say, Morten, I was really very concerned about Tai Tzu Ying in that 2-minute timeout because she was bent double and seemed to be in physical distress holding her tummy.
Yeah, I thought the same. I didn't want to say anything, but now you
Second
mention
game.
it. So yes,
Love
I
all.
definitely thought the same.
Play.
I do hope she's all right.
One.
Well, it's
Love.
imperative, I think, that Tai Tzu Ying makes a good start to this second game. Otherwise, I think it's going to be Carolina Marin that just steamrolls this
Yeah, it looks like
women's
it.
singles final.
Two. Love.
Let's hope
Wide,
we don't.
yeah.
3. Love.
Just over the racket.
Yeah.
Service
But
over.
I couldn't agree with
One,
you more, Jill.
3.
It's so important for Tai Tzu Ying to get started now. 1-3 down, and she's got to start piling on some points and find some sort of rhythm in all this.
Yes.
That's wide.
Because for a player that's
Two.
usually so
Three.
fluent and fluid in her movement around the court, and for a player that usually makes her shot production look so effortless, I haven't seen any of that so far. I mean, look at her movement there. It didn't look fluent, and because she's just
over.
been outpaced.
She's
4,
outpaced.
2.
That's what it is. She's simply not being allowed to play her usual style at the moment.
Service over. 3. 4.
And this is the kind of play we need to see from Tai Tzu Ying if she wants to work her way back. She's got to see whether she can find more attacking opportunities and not miss stuff like that.
Service over.
No, it's very
5,
uncharacteristic, isn't it? And
3.
we both know that Tai Tzu Ying on occasions can go on what we call walkabout and just lose her focus and concentration.
But this is a completely different matter.
Yes.
Six. 3.
That's a good clear.
That's
Yeah.
wide.
She's way off balance there, Tai Tzu Ying.
7.
Yeah, I
Three.
wonder if that clear she took was too long.
Did occur to me too, Morten.
That one there,
This one.
yeah. It's way out of balance. And of course, Marin is playing with the drift, so chances were.
Challenge here.
Tai Tzu Ying challenges.
Tai Tzu Ying.
Call out.
Yeah, caught the line. Good challenge.
Correction. 8. Service over. 4-7. Carolina, second point. Play.
Oh, it's hitting the net. Yeah,
It's much better play.
yeah.
5-7.
Punch clear. Final shot from Tai Tzu Ying. Putting the left-hander under real pressure down her backhand side.
Yeah, thank you. You ready?
But so far it's been an impressive performance by Carolina Marin.
Play.
Never really got behind it. Didn't hit through
Service
it either.
over. 8-5.
I'm not
9.
even sure that was really the right choice of shot from Tai Tzu Ying.
Oh, she's trying to find a small light in the dark. I think that's what she's searching. And of course, it's not easy shots she's attempting to play.
Ten. 5.
Yeah, in badminton terms, that's not even close, is it?
No.
Oh yes, it's a lovely shot.
Service over. 6-10.
That's a good clear. So is that from Marin.
There's pressure on.
Yeah.
Service over.
The
11,
pressure is
6,
just
interval.
mounting on Tai Tzu Ying.
Well, after that good rally, the scoreline, as it was in the opening game, is a 5-point advantage at the mid-game interval to the number 5 seed, Carolina Marin. Well, she's been absolutely superb so far.
Vale. Ok, seguimos acá. Seguimos a saco. Vale. Y los puntos cuando tú estás un poco atrás.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Well, Carolina Marin, as far as results in finals are concerned, hasn't won a title since the Saeed Modi Super 300 event at the end of
11-6.
2019. And incidentally, that event counts towards the race to the World Tour finals in 2 weeks.
Yeah, she's for sure qualified. But it was interesting what you say. I think I made notes that she lost 3 semi-finals and 3 finals in 2020.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken.
that's 4 semi-finals.
4 semis.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 tournaments altogether. Oh yes, that's nice. Well,
Service
Tai Tzu
over.
Ying has got to react,
7,
and has got to react pretty
11.
quickly, because time is running out and Carolina Marin is in such wonderful form.
Thank you. Okay, Carolina.
I don't think Tai Tzu Ying is 100%.
Nor do I.
I
Honestly,
think there is something.
I think there's something wrong too. And I don't want to take anything away
No,
from
no, no.
Carolina Marin, who's
But
been brilliant, but she looks in physical distress, whether she's had eaten something that has disagreed with her, or we know Victor Axelsen has been suffering from a cold from the air conditioning in the hotel.
Service over. 12-7.
Lucky net cord for the left-hander.
30-7.
Well, you can always tell when Carolina Marin is playing well and she's full of confidence, because her walk in between points gets quicker and quicker.
Yeah, but it was interesting yesterday when she played Ang Seong. She was not half as confident as what she is today here.
Yeah.
And she was kind of very insecure, normally having this purposeful walk, you know, serving and receiving and all that. But suddenly she was slowing down in between the rallies and really taking her time, and she was really not that confident. Ang Seong did not take her chance. I think she was playing way too safe, and Marin came through with 18 and 16, I think. But I think the youngster could have done better from Korea.
8.
Interesting.
I think she could have done a lot better. She played way too safe.
Yeah,
And if you want to win the big ones, you've got to take chances now and again.
absolutely.
Nine, 14. Service over 15-9.
Well, there's a challenge here
Carolina
from
Marin
Marin.
challenges call out.
So maybe you can help me here, Jill. You know, when you anticipate such a big fight between two players,
Yeah.
and then one suddenly is
Challenge
getting
unsuccessful.
almost,
One
you know,
challenge
just
remaining.
wiped out of court, as it looks now. I'm not
Yes.
saying it cannot
Over
change, but as it looks now,
10,
I really feel sorry for the,
15.
you know, the one that's not able to get the game going. And as I remember, that also happened at the World Championship for Okuhara in the final against Sindhu. Am I correct? We anticipated such a hard-fought fight, and then Sindhu played absolutely fantastic,
Yeah.
not to take anything away from it, but such a good player as Okuhara just got floored completely.
Yes, yeah,
And this is the same kind of feeling I sit with here today.
absolutely. Good analogy.
11-15.
But Tai Tzu Ying, as you say, it might change.
Yeah,
She's still fighting.
she is, and really hats off. She's doing her very best.
That's good. Good,
Service
good
over
pressure.
16-11. Finish? Yeah. Play.
That's lovely. I saw a lot of that yesterday from Tai Tzu Ying, coming forward to the
Service
net,
over.
the holds or the flicks, and
12,
little
16.
delicate turning of the shuttle as she did on that occasion. And that's the first real time we've seen her dominate from the front of the court today.
Yes. And she's closed the gap to 4 points. Good play by Marin. Nice spinning net shot there
Service
from her.
over 17-12. Carolina, need to ask permission to come in. Yeah, I know, but still.
Yeah, look at the frustration from Tai Tzu Ying. Rarely shows much emotion on court, Tai Tzu Ying. Doesn't celebrate as Marin does, and doesn't often show dejection either, which she did on that occasion.
Service over.
Well, I think we're
13,
approaching the stage of now or never as far as Tai Tzu Ying is concerned.
Ready? Play. Service over. 18.
It's been an awful
13.
lot of errors today from the world number one, hasn't there? Whether you count them as forced, was that a forced error or was that an unforced error? I'd count that as an unforced.
Yeah, it's borderline. I think
Yeah.
the smash was good from Marin. Good smash down the line. possibly a little bit ambitious to get it all the way to the back line from Tai Tzu Ying. You know, a block shot could maybe have done it.
That is brilliant play from the left-hander. The smash straight down the line and the follow-up for the straight reply from Tai Tzu Ying. Brings her forward first, then the straight smash, and look at the follow-up.
Yeah, and that just brings me back to the thing I said earlier. After her injury, we never ever saw her do that.
Yeah.
That was something she did before her injury. And then after the injury, it was safe cross-court clears and all that, and suddenly this is back into her game.
Yeah.
And that is obviously meaning a lot to Marin. I am absolutely convinced about that.
So 2 points away from the title. Oh, that's
good.
brilliant. Brilliant. Well, you have to be careful
That's
there.
over 14,
Don't hit the post.
19.
No. Tennis player James Blake did that once and he broke his neck. Slid into the net post. Horrible injury.
Carolina.
That's lovely skill from Tai Tzu Ying. We were talking yesterday, Steen and I, about how she doesn't, or maybe it was her Ratchanok Intanon, but I think it was Tai Tzu Ying, how sometimes she doesn't appear to hit the shuttle, she just seems to guide it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost no contact to it.
Yeah.
Play. $15, 19. Change.
So we could get into a situation where Marin is getting a little bit over-eager. I still think it's possible for Tai Tzu Ying.
It is possible. I was just thinking how she was 16-20 down against Mia Blichfeld in the semi-final yesterday and she still won the game. Oh, good defence. Brilliant. That's a super shot. All about angle and placement rather than power.
Yeah, the key is that particular shot we saw there, that defensive shot. Tai Tzu Ying has not got a lot of those back, and this time she got it back, and that made a difference in the rally.
Oh dear, a service error from Tai Tzu Ying. And that brings up match point opportunities, 4 of them for Carolina Marin.
Carolina.
Now the umpire.
Your opponent is waiting. Yeah, I know. You get bigger, okay?
Your opponent's waiting. Get yourself ready.
Play.
And she's done it. Yeah. Well, it's a day of emotion. We saw emotion from Gracia Polli. Now from Carolina Marin. She
Match won
wins
by Carolina
the
Marin, 21-9.
YONEX
21,
Thailand
16.
Open Super 1000 events. And her first.
Papi, te quiero.
Yeah, a little personal message there, and for those that know the story. they will be acutely aware of the sentimental meaning of that. So there is confirmation, 21-9, 21-16 for the Olympic champion Carolina Marin over the world #1 Tai Tzu Ying. Well, right from the onset, one always felt that Carolina Marin, right from that very first rally, Morten, that she was fired up and she was ready for this.
Absolutely, she played well. It was magnificent display from Carolina Marin. I think she played, yeah, flawless, so good pace, and she did not make the same kind of errors like what she did yesterday in the semi-final. She kept a very tight ship, as we say, and I think she did well. Fully deserved it. And when we talk about during the match here that we would have liked to see a better fight, and hopefully Tai Tzu Ying would maybe make it a little bit closer, we cannot take away from this fantastic performance that we saw here from Carolina Marin.
Yeah.
Really played well.
The winning moments, this is the final rally and the moment of victory. First major title since she won her second consecutive China Open back in 2019, and her first major title since she tragically lost her father last year. Well, Morten, you said during commentary that she was sending a message.
Yes.
I think the message has probably been received by the other women's singles players loud and clear.
Loud and clear, that's for sure. She means business.
She does.
YONEX Thailand Open.
And it does also mean that, of course, our 5 titles today will go to players from 5 different countries.
The players, please proceed to the stage.
So true.
So the players step forward for the prize presentation.
At this point, the organizing committee would like to call upon the guests of honors on stage to present the prizes in this award ceremony. May I invite Ms. Nora Perry, BWF Council Member, Mr. Ben Yoneyama, Chairman of YONEX, Mr. Joao Matush, BWF Vice President Europe. The runner-up from women's single is Tai Tzu Ying from Chinese Taipei.
Tai Tzu Ying of Chinese Taipei.
And
Quite
the
obviously not at her
champion
best
for
today,
women's single
but as Morten
of YONEX
Frost was
Thailand
saying,
Open,
let's take
part
nothing
of
away
HSBC
from the performance
BWF
of the
World
Olympic
Tour
champion.
Super 1000 is
Carolina
Marin from Spain.
Was utterly superb. Wins the title without dropping a game the whole way through the tournament.
Next, may I invite Ms. Nora Perry, BWF Council Member, to present the medals.
Yeah, it's very nice the way that Mrs. Nora Perry is using the Thai gesture of respect and thanks as she presents the medals.
May I invite Mr. Ben Yoneyama, Chairman of YONEX, to present the prize money.
presentation party, wearing gloves as well if they are touching the checks or
Lastly,
medals, souvenirs,
may I invite Mr. Joao
$70,000
Matu, BWF Vice
a
President
handsome
Europe,
payday
to present the
for
souvenirs.
both players.
And now, for a group photo with the players, may I invite our guests of honors to join a photo session.
So the presentation party will stand in front of the two athletes for the photographers. Well, it didn't materialise into the great final that we had hoped, but it was outstanding nonetheless, and that's because of this lady, who was in scintillating form.
The organizing committee would like to express our gratitude to the guests of honors. Thank you very much for your time and participation.
So there'll be a couple more photographs of the two players as we look forward to our last final of the day. It's men's singles. It is Victor Axelsen, the former world champion and former world #1, up against the beaten finalist at the last Thailand Open, Eun Ka Long of Hong Kong. So welcome back to the